Well, Pastor Abel, let's come up and introduce you. Some of you don't know Pastor Abel, and let me say we're real glad to have you here today.
Thank you. Morning, everyone.
Yeah. And his tie doesn't have any sparkling lights in it, so just as well.
I can take it off. That's not a problem.
Last week we had the privilege of being together up at Alstonville for an ordination, so I didn't. It's good to see you 2 weeks in a row anyway. Pastor Abel, we call you Pastor Abel, but you've got a name that I don't think I can even pronounce. Can you tell us what your surname is?
Look, my surname was just fine until I came to Australia. So I was born and raised in Romania. I moved here at the age of 20. So my surname is Iorgulescu. It's got 10 letters, majority of the letters in the alphabet, so all jumbled up.
Iorgulescu.
That's it.
That's how you say it.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, okay, now I've got it. I'll forget it afterwards, of course. Anyway, so glad to have you here. Just, you've told us you've come from Romania. What made you become a pastor?
What made you? Look, probably one of the biggest influences was my Friday night meetings with the family. I was raised in a Seventh-day Adventist family. And some of you that know a bit of history and what's happening in the world, Romania went through a significant time of communism, and which collapsed in 1989. And my parents, siblings, grandparents, you know, they went through that terrible time when their faith was really tested. And for me, those stories of faith and the price they had to pay, it really inspired me. And something that really played a significant role, and the individual doesn't know, as a young boy, I attended those, I think they were called Net 96 or something to that effect by Mark Finlay. So they were televised in Romania, and as I was listening, as a 10-year-old boy listening to Mark Finlay preaching all the way from America and the way he was unpacking the gospel, something really started in my heart to become, a preacher, an evangelist, a communicator of the gospel.
Great. Oh, thank you for that background. Now, you have a family, and I guess you've only got one wife, as usual.
One wife, and I'm planning to stay to one wife.
Good. And children?
Yeah, so one wife and 2 girls, ages currently 10 and 7. They would have loved to be here, but my wife is leading out in the primary Sabbath school and adventurers in the afternoon, and we've got Pathfinders in the evening, so it's a
busy day.
Significant long Sabbath, yeah.
Great. Yeah. Just tell us where you've worked since you become a pastor.
Yeah, look, I was really privileged to, as soon as I finished college here at Avondale, to be employed by this conference. So I went to Coffs Harbour region. I was punished to stay there for 5 years. If you know Coffs Harbour, it's an amazing place. We had an incredible journey with the church there. And after Coffs, we moved to Avondale Memorial Church, where I was the senior pastor there for a few years, and then transition into conference office.
Yeah. This man's amazing because I think I'm right that you'd probably be the youngest pastor that Avondale Memorial has had, if not forever, but at least in recent years. And they loved him so much, they were really disappointed at the session when he was called to be the General Secretary of our conference. And I think he's probably the youngest General Secretary we've had too. But really...
Just on that one with Avondale Memorial, probably they didn't have me long enough to see all my faults, so that's why they were disappointed.
I've got many friends there, and they all said they really regretted you leaving. So we're so glad to have you with us today. Thank you. And we are blessed to have you, and we know that we will be blessed as we hear you preach.
Thanks, Pastor Neil.
Thank you.
And by the way, you guys and what God has done here with this building and the congregation is so inspiring. It's got a nice vibe, it's good energy. Yeah. And really looking forward to worshiping together.
Right. And it just came to my mind that you're actually my boss. And so I better behave, otherwise you'll give me the sack.
Yeah.
And that's a good idea, probably.
Well, actually, I remember when I first saw Pastor Neil Watts, and he doesn't have a clue about this. I was in Brisbane, and you were the president of the conference, South Queensland. And you were introducing or making some things, presentation at the youth rally in Brisbane. And I looked at this gentleman, I said, my goodness, imagine the president of South Queensland conference.
Yeah.